It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another weekly live Q&A. Appreciate everybody tuning in. A lot of things to get into today, man, for this week. LSU participated in SEC Media Days. Uh, Brian Kelly was the first one to go up on Monday. Had a lot of it was mostly coach speak though. He didn't really get into too much details, about everything. Of course, all the questions that we have. Um, but it seems like the quarterback battle is gonna come down to the end, and basically they're gonna use the quarterback's skill set to run the offense instead of trying to make a quarterback run this particular type of offense they want to run. So that's a good thing. Training camp is a week away for the Eagles. It starts next Tuesday. Well, next Tuesday everybody reports. They get to practicing next Wednesday. I'm excited about that. We can't wait. Football is in the air. It's All Star break for the Major League Baseball. Braves are 2.5 games behind the New York Mets. Looking forward to seeing what the second half of the season bring, and if Double A try to make another splash at the trade deadline. Basketball, we still waiting to see what Kevin Durant do. It seems like his decision has kind of put the whole NBA landscape on hold, including especially for my Miami Heat. As it seems like right now, if Kevin Durant does move, that the Heat would be the prohibited favorites to land him. So, a lot going on, man. Just get at me. Looking forward to being with y'all this hour. Let's see what we got. What's up, Crimson Brave? Appreciate you tuning in. Yo, what's going on, man? We getting close. We getting close, yo. I know you excited about your Alabama team. You know I don't like y'all. I can't stand y'all. But at the same time, y'all do y'all thing over there, and I can't hate on that. Uh, yeah, I mean, Bryce Young won the Heisman last year, coming back as the Heisman favorite this year with him and CJ Stroud. Will Anderson is talking a lot of talk about trying to win the Heisman as a defensive player, which that hasn't been done since Charles Woodson. Though I felt like Honey Badger should have got it in 2011 if it wasn't for that little 1 game suspension he had served. But yeah, looking forward to it. I know y'all got a big one week 2. Y'all travel to Texas to take on the Longhorns on the road, which I'm a little surprised about. I don't really remember Alabama, playing a true road non-conference game. The last one I remember was in 2011. They went to Penn State, Happy Valley, and played Penn State. So shout out to them for that. Usually they play a bunch of, games at neutral sites, which are basically Alabama home games. So shout out to them for that. Bama A&M game going to be ugly this year. Oh, it will be. It will be, yo. I like how. Now I'm gonna say this about Saban, man. Saban got to chill out with all this parody talk and the NIL thing, like making the game uneven. Like, look, Saban, that's just how it is right now, and that's just how it's gonna be. Like, we don't want to hear Saban talk about how it's not fair. Like, dude, you got like how many national championships? So it's like, y'all gotta they gotta step their NIL game up. Jimbo, we all know that them players went there because of NIL, but at the same time, they didn't break no rules. They got long pockets, so I mean, you gotta respect what they're able to accomplish. Um, so he get the players, and yes, that game will be very ugly, but very entertaining at the same time. A&M got a whole lot of talent, got a whole lot of 5-star players over there. Um, so I'm looking forward to that matchup as well. And I'm just looking forward to the SEC basically just as a whole, this season. Bama, Texas have a home and home this year and next. Yeah, I figured Texas was gonna make their return trip to Tuscaloosa, but that's pretty cool though to see. Like, I like these, Power Five. I mean, yeah, you got the non-conference, neutral site type of games. Like, You got LSU and Florida State, New Orleans, which we know that's technically a LSU home game, and we're gonna return that by playing them in Orlando. But at the same time, like it's cool to see these teams, you know, go to each other's home field. You know, like LSU went to Texas a couple of years ago, and now Texas was supposed to come to LSU, but of course because of COVID and all that, they didn't get to play that matchup. But that's another one I'm looking forward to seeing. Alabama obviously should win that game and pretty convincingly, but it'll be cool to see just the atmosphere. And I know the Texas fans will be pretty stoked for that. What's up, Lawrence James? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Salute, my guy, Mr. Do Guy? We on Hurt So Bus, man. Fly Eagles fly. We still gonna be the dogs on defense. Hopefully, 100. Yeah, man. It's hurt season. Like you said, it hurts so bus. The roster is pretty solid around him. You got a really good offensive line. You got a solid tight end. You got solid running back. You got you go from one of the worst receiving corps to one of the better ones with the addition of AJ Brown to go along with Devontae Smith. The defensive line is stout. The front seven should be as stout as it's been in a long time. In the secondary, you got two bookend corners and you got a solid slot corner. Now the safeties are kind of not the greatest safeties in the world, but at the same time, the Quashnet Clark and Anthony Harris are safeties that get plays. Now granted they're a little longer, they're a little older now, but at the same time, they got experience to have their plays. It's about hurt. Like it's about hurt. And the pressure is on him. I'm cool with him, but at the same time, I do want to see growth. I do want to see improvement. They got some stud quarterbacks coming into the draft next year, and all we got is in position with two first round picks in case Hurts falls off, to where we can trade up, to get one of those big time quarterbacks or something like that. So yeah, it's all about Hurts, man. If Hurts go out there and show improvement and he get better, this team should win a playoff game this year. I would love to win the division, but the expectation is you gotta at least win a playoff game. Oh snap! Hold on, telling me no volume. God dog it. Well, I'm gonna have to get the headphones off. Snap. I don't know what that's all about. Hold on. All right, that's better. Y'all can hear me. All right, y'all. Let me know if that's better. Back. All right, appreciate it. Let's see. One of Jimbo's boosters did get caught admitting to players that they'll get paid a lot of money if they come. I'm sure they did. Texas got a lot of off-field money over there, so Texas A&M and the Texas Longhorns, they're gonna be able to pay a lot of recruits a lot of money, especially with the NIL situation now where it's legalized. I'm sure we all know that players like five-star recruits and all that was getting money before. I've got stories from people who went to LSU. I won't reveal names or sources, but I know players get a little something something. So now with it being legalized and it's fair game, you can't get mad at Texas for using their advantages. And the advantages is they got boosters with a lot of money. So and you could pay these players now, so they're gonna pay these players a nice little grip. And we're gonna see how the landscape in college football change if it really does make teams like A&M and Texas a real national force. If they got all these advantages and Jimbo still can't, compete for a national championship, then it just lets you know how mediocre he is, as a head coach in this day and age, because he got the talent to get it done. He just got to go out there and get it done. And I know that, it's intimidating Nick Saban because Nick Saban is coming out and speaking on it. What's up, Ice Cream Man 504? Appreciate you tuning in. Yo, what's up? What's going on? Yo, glad you could make it into the live. What's up, Philly? Philly, appreciate you tuning in. Mr. Duga, I can't wait for the NFL season to kick off. If you ask me, a lot of teams have gotten better. I'm stoked and can't wait for my Westgate Tigers to kick off also 4A champs. That's what's up, man. Yeah, man, the NFL season we all waiting for. We all can't wait, man. It's getting close. Teams are reporting to training camp this year. It should be a lot of fun, yo. And yeah, shout out to Westgate, man. I tell you what though, Westgate and shit Martinville got a matchup. I forgot the date. I think it's week 4, so I think that should be like a week before my birthday or something like that. Westgate and St. Marville play in St. Marville, so that should be a really fun matchup with Harvey Broussard going up against Derek Williams. But shout out to Westgate, man. On Big Time Sports Talk, the radio show, we had Ryan Antoine on at the banquet. I got to meet Ryan Antoine. I got to meet Derek Williams. Derek Williams going to Texas, by the way. Shout out to him for that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that matchup too. But shout out to Westgate, man. They definitely represented the area well last year. I'm excited to see Bama's defense this year. Yeah, they should be pretty good, man. They got our old boy Eli Ricks over there. If he could stay out of trouble, as a bookend corner, holding it down on one side. Will Anderson, who is the all-world pass rusher, coming into this season. So, yeah, definitely. They should be pretty good, man. They definitely should be pretty good, yo. Let's see. What's up, Nikki Steets? Appreciate you tuning in. With Dion being Jackson State's coach, how much of an impact will he have on NCAA football recruiting over the next several years? I think he's gonna have a real big impact, yo. He got 2 5-star recruits to go to Jackson State, yo. Like, that is unheard of. That is unprecedented. Like, to have guys who could go to any university in the country and they go to a HBCU to Jackson State. That is big time, yo. Shout out to Dion for that. And I feel like if they start winning, he gonna get more and more and more. It's an experiment. Let's see how Travis Hunter and the other guys can get his man. What's going on? Let's see. Breaking news. James Harden has agreed to a 2-year, $68.6 million deal with a player option to return to the 76ers. That's no big surprise. We all expected him to return to the 76ers by taking the pay cut. But yeah, like that's big, man, and I'm glad to see it. Now, granted, I kind of was wish that Southern had somebody like Deion Sanders over there. But shout out to Deion for doing this thing at Jackson State, and I'm rooting for him, yo. Of course, I want to see Southern U do Southern University do better, But I'm rooting for him, man. Shout out to him and for what he's doing at Jackson State. Let's see. What's up, Pate Productions? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up? What's going on? Yo, glad you can make it into the live. I'm ready for LSU football and my Saints. Yeah, man. I'm ready myself, yo. Big one against Florida State to open the season. That should be a whole lot of fun. The big one, you got Alabama at home, Florida, the traditional rivalries. Looking forward to that. Auburn, A&M. And for the Saints, man, similar to my Eagles, it's about quarterback play. The Saints got a good roster. When you look at their defense, it was a top tier defense last season. A lot of those guys coming back. Offensively, their problem was quarterback play. Once Jameis Winston went out, they tried it out, got Taysom Hill and Trevor Simeon, and they couldn't get the job done, and the season kind of, fell from under their feet. But if they could get solid quarterback play from Jameis, they signed Andy Dalton, who is a respectable backup quarterback nowadays in the league. Better than the options they had last season. So if they could get respectable quarterback play from them, from Jameis, I think they got a good roster. So they should have a chance, to make a little bit of noise. So we played New Year's Day. I'm looking forward to that matchup. But we'll see what happens, man. Shout out to them. Y'all know my pop's a big time Saints fan. So shout out to them for that. What's up, my friend Conru Girl? Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, my friend, late to the live. How many yards do you think Hurts can throw far this season? Uh, I think he could get over 4,000. He's not gonna throw for 5,000 or nothing like that because Hurts is not that. He don't have that type of skill set as a quarterback. He gonna run a lot more than these traditional quarterbacks like the Aaron Rodgers, and all them other teams like other quarterbacks like that. But I could see over 4,000 yards passing. In a good like 700-800 yards rushing. I think that'll be a big time year for him. But for me, with Hurts, even more than passing yards, like how many passing touchdowns he has. In the red zone, we're gonna utilize his legs a lot. But like, how do we get him to be a more efficient passer in the red zone? He has a big target now with AJ Brown, who should definitely help the red zone offense. Dallas Goedert is a nice red zone target. We gotta run the ball with Miles Sanders, and we gotta use a lot of play action passes. We gotta try to do that to alleviate us kicking a lot of field goals and settling for field goals. We got to get a lot of sevens and threes this year. We do that, I think he's gonna be all right. But I say about 4,000 yards passing and like 750 to 800 yards rushing. Who do you think has the most improved NFL roster? Um, of course, I could be biased and say the Eagles because I think we improved a lot, but I'm gonna go away from that. I like moves that the LA Chargers made. Getting Khalil Mack, getting JC Jackson. I like the moves that they made. I think they sneakily improved their team, a good bit from a team that was on the fringe of being a playoff team to now I think is going to be a solid contender in the AFC. Haven't really been following baseball that close. How are your Braves doing? They're doing good. 2.5 games behind the Mets at the All Star break. Started off really slow, like we did over the last couple of years for whatever reason. Was 10.5 games back of the Mets, but now we down to 2.5 games back. With the second half to play, and still 12 more matchups head to head with the New York Mets. So I like where we standing right now. Mike Soroka should be coming back at some point. Ozzy Albies at some point later in the season should be coming back. I like where we stand right now. Plus we got that championship pedigree, so I feel like we're gonna eventually overtake the Mets and get this division. What's up, Savage Tiger football fan? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Mr. Dugas? Who do you think should start at QB for us this year? Good question. I think Jaden Daniels has the highest upside out of all the quarterbacks when you consider, his ability to run and extend plays. He's a very, very gifted athlete and a very, very talented runner. I like his upside a lot, but he's not completely polished yet as a passer. And that's the problem. Miles Brennan is polished as a passing quarterback. And he's obviously more seasoned and more experienced and been in this not the, technically this offense because it's a new coaching staff, but he's been in this program, for years now. Uh Walker Howard, I think we're gonna redshirt him. He's a true freshman. I think they're gonna redshirt Walker Howard. Honestly, I'm not the biggest Nussmeier guy. I was at the Arkansas game when he went out there and basically played the whole game, and it was not pretty by any means. I just feel like he a turnover waiting to happen. But me personally, I like Jaden Daniels. I just like his ability to run. But he got to just become better and better as a passer. But at the same time, whoever Coach Brian Kelly sent out there, I think it's gonna be either Daniels or Miles Brennan. Whoever he sent out there, I feel like you know they're gonna give us the best chance to win. He may do a package where he may start Miles Brennan, but then use Jaden Daniels. Kind of like how Florida used Tebow with Chris Lee, and how we use Ryan Perrilloux, with Matt Flynn. It may be like a situation like that, but Me personally, I like Jaden Daniels because I just like his upside. But him or Brennan, whoever they throw out there, I'm cool with it because that just tells me that that's the coaching staff believe give us the best chance to win. Because none of us are at practice, so where do you think Durant will end up this season? Who is the Dark Horse Super Bowl contender? This Durant thing is really starting to get a little crazy because it's like, honestly, if he ends up on a team besides Brooklyn, it looks like the Miami Heat. It looks like my Miami Heat because by Phoenix giving DeAndre Ayton, that max contract, that kind of takes them out of the conversation. And they was really the only real team that was a real serious threat to get Kevin Durant. The thing is, Brooklyn playing hardball. Brooklyn is playing a lot of hardball. Apparently, Pat Riley really does want to get Durant in Miami. Um, but now it's starting to feel like it's a possibility. He may just end up staying in Brooklyn. But if I had to put my money on it, it sounds crazy. I know I'm a sound biased. I think he ended up in Miami. One way or another, I think Pat Riley gets him in Miami. It's a bad taste in our mouth by losing to the Boston Celtics in Game 7. And let's face it, Jimmy Butler needs help. We can't have Jimmy going out there scoring 47 points and 35 points and stuff like that, and nobody else like even scoring 20. So I think Pat Riley and Jimmy getting a little older. Like Jimmy is over 30 years old, so we got to take advantage of his prime years. And I think Pat wants to get a championship ASAP. So I feel like we end up with him just because of the aggressive nature of Pat Riley, and the other teams kind of seem to be slacking off in the talks with him and all that. And as far as a dark horse Super Bowl contender, uh, I said the Chargers. A team like the Chargers is a dark horse. They in a tough division, obviously. With Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City over there, with the Raiders getting Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones over there. That make it a little interesting. Uh, Russell Wilson with the Broncos now, but the fact that they got an offense that's gonna be prolific, that's gonna score points week in and week out. And you pair J.C. Jackson along with Asante Samuel Jr., you pair Khalil Mack along with Joey Bosa. That's a very, very, very talented football team. So I'm gonna say the Chargers, not only the team that I think improved the most, but they also a team that I think is a dark horse contender. How do you think? Who do you? How do you think? Who you think will win the starting QB spot in Carolina, Mayfield or Darnold? That's a good question. I'm a go Mayfield. I think Mayfield. I think they tried out the Darnold experience, and it looked nice for like 3 weeks, and then after that, the wheels kind of just fell off the rails. I think Baker Mayfield is gonna win that job, yo. And do I think he do great over there? No, but I think he's like the lesser bad of the two bad, quarterbacks. So I think Baker will win that job. How did I know that you would say Durant would be a Heat? I think you'll be a Laker. Nah, like with the Lakers, I think like their whole thing is set on Kyrie, and the Lakers don't really have like really young pieces like that, because Brooklyn wants a lot, and I don't know if the Lakers have enough young pieces, to get Durant on there. Unless, well, then you could make the argument they could trade Anthony Davis. If Brooklyn feels like Anthony Davis is good enough, like they'll trade straight up Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis for Kyrie and Durant, and probably throw some draft picks or something like that in there. That's possible. That is very much possible, but I don't know. I just don't think he'll end up there. I just feel like, somehow, some way, I think he'll either end up, with the Miami Heat, or he'll stay in Brooklyn. That's just me, but we never know. I didn't think he would end up with the Warriors years ago neither. What's up, Flaming Sports Media? Appreciate you tuning in. I have a few questions on how live streams work. Do you mind answering them, or should I wait another time? Nah, go ahead, fire away, because it's really not really that hard. So that's why I said just fire away, and I can answer them for you. What's up, Lil Viney? Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, Mr. Dugas, long time no see. How are you? How do you feel about the Eagles this upcoming season? I'm good. Appreciate you for tuning in. I like us a lot this year. Super Bowl contenders, I won't quite go there, yet. But I feel like this team could make a run at a divisional round or maybe even an NFC Championship game. If Jalen Hurts, shows vast improvement at being a franchise quarterback. I like us a lot. I think the roster is really good. I like the receiving core. I like the tight end. I like the backs, the O line, the front seven is probably on paper the best front seven we've had in years. When you just think about us, the potential of us moving to a 3-4 defense. You got Jordan Davis down there at the zero technique. Then you could throw in Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, and then you could rotate Milton Williams, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett. And then at linebackers, the two edge rushers, you got Hassan Reddick and probably Josh Sweat. And then in the two linebackers, the two middle linebackers, you got Kazir White and the Kobe Dean. That's the best, person front seven personnel that we've had in a long time, especially at the linebacker core. So I like us a lot. I feel like this team, in my opinion, is favored to win the NFCs. I know Dallas won it last year, but I just feel like them losing Amari Cooper is going to be a bigger loss than they realize. And I think Ezekiel Elliott is starting to get a little washed up. I think that this might be Zeke probably last year in Dallas, and they might cut bait with him. We'll see. Who's more likely to get cut before the start of the season, Jay Jaw or Greg Ward? Uh, I'm gonna say Jay Jaw. Because with Greg Ward, I think they both get cut. Like I think if I had to bet on it, I think they both don't make the roster. I just feel like the Eagles receiving core, you got the top four obviously easily with um, with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, and Zach Pascal. I think that's your four reliable wide receivers that you're gonna send out there to actually make plays. And then, you got the young guys, that could come in and be return specialists. Jalen Rager is an interesting one for me. I feel like he shouldn't make the roster, but at the same time, Howie, which is the reason J Jaw is still on the roster. Howie don't really like to cut bait, with high first round draft picks, in year two or three. So I feel like they may give him another opportunity. So I think that makes somebody like a Greg Ward expendable. And for Jay Jaw, he's trying a brand new position at tight end. Tyree, what gives him a chance is that Tyree Jackson is on the pup list coming off that torn ACL. But if healthy, I feel like Tyree Jackson is the slam dunk number two tight end. Jack Stahl is our blocking tight end, so I don't think we're gonna get rid of him. Um, and then this rookie, this 7th round rookie, I forget his name, but the guy from SMU that played with Hurts at Oklahoma before going transferring to SMU, he's a really good receiving option. The thing is just can he block? you know. But so I think that's what makes J Jaw a little expendable. So I think that they both get cut, but if I had to pick one or the other, I think J Jaw would get cut before Greg Ward. If I watch the live stream until it ends, do you get all of your watch time, or does the watch time only count once the live stream is posted as a video on your channel? You get what I'm asking? If you got your if you got it set on automatic modification or whatever, it'll automatically do once the video is set. But if not, you might want to go into your studio when the video is over and make sure it's monetized. But it'll start, producing everything once the live stream is over and then it's posted. You'll have a certain amount of views already from the people who already was on the live stream. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much how that works. Do you think we should go after Jesse Bates? And if so, what will it probably take for us to get him? Obviously, he's a very, very good player. um, very, very good player. Like him a lot as a safety. Young guy. I don't know. I guess because Cincinnati spent a lot of money on the offensive line, they don't really have a lot of money left over for him. I would love to have him, and obviously he would fit. He would by far be the best safety on this roster if we get him. As far as do we trade for him, the only problem is if you trade for him, you got to pay him top dollar. Like that's the only issue we have. We do need a safety. A lot of people who follow the channel know that I really, I'm cool with Jordan Davis now. I hope it works out. I'm rooting for the young man, but a lot of people know that I was down after the draft because I wanted Kyle Hamilton. When we was on the board, I desperately wanted Kyle Hamilton instead of Jordan Davis, and Kyle Hamilton went the very next pick to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, obviously, we go see how that turned out. We go see if Jordan Davis is indeed a stud D tackle in this league that could be more than a two down lineman, and we go see how Kyle Hamilton does in Baltimore, who traditionally has really good defensive backs. But I'm cool with I'm. It's one of those things where I'm okay if we don't. I would love it if we did, but I'm okay if we don't. Right now I'm cool with the way the roster is. Um, you know, we do got veteran guys like Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. That's going to eventually, get released from this team, so that could open up a little bit of salary cap space. Um, Look, if we bring them in, I would love it. But right now, I think what it would cost, as long as it would probably cost a second round pick. I'm not giving up either of my first round picks for him. I'm not doing that. Because obviously we gotta see, unfortunately, we gotta see what's up with the quarterback position. Now, granted, if Hurts go out there and ball, then yeah, we could, you know, go out there, get a safety in the first round and probably another lineman or whatever. But we got to keep them two first round picks just in case, we got to move on from Jalen Hurts. But for a second and like a fifth or something like that, I do it. It's just I worry about the contract part of it, but at the same time, it is a player that would make a difference on this team. Let's see. What's up, Eagles Forever? Appreciate you tuning in. NFL Bird Team rankings: Eagles 1, Cardinals 2, Seahawks 3, Falcons 4, Ravens 5. Dang, you put no love for the Ravens, huh? But I like that number one choice though. Jimmy G was cut. Where do you think Jimmy G will end up? Or they cut him? Because I seen last earlier that they gave him permission to request a trade. But by him being released, a place for Jimmy G, because obviously Carolina already filled their little void. Um, mm, I would probably, if I was, I think Jimmy G would do good right now. I think in a place probably like Houston, because Houston got this young guy that they throwing out there at quarterback. I don't know if they quite sold on him yet. But I think that would be a nice spot for him to go there as a veteran presence and play a lot of football over there down there in Houston. So I think the Houston, Texas is a place that I think Jimmy G could end up at. What's up, Rams Nation? Rams, appreciate you tuning in. What's up, my dude? What's going on, yo? Glad you could make it into the live. Right. So if I watch this live stream for 5 hours, do you automatically get those 5 hours? Thank you, Mr. Dugai. Yeah, I will. That'll be nice if you watch the 5 hours, yo. What's up, Sebastian Gonzalez? Appreciate you tuning in. LSU will shock people next season. Everyone will have a bag season for the NFL draft. I feel the Jets, Ravens, and Chiefs won the draft. Got some ballers in their laps. Yeah, I like the Jets draft a lot, yo. I like the moves that they made. I gotta go back and kind of check out. I know they got Kyle Hamilton, obviously, but I gotta see what else Baltimore did in the draft and Kansas City. But I definitely like the moves the New York Jets made. And as far as for LSU, yeah, I'm all with it, man. Like look, like with LSU, like similar to the Eagles for LSU, the expectations is 8-4, but I feel like they got a good shot to get to 9-3. One of those teams, whether it be Alabama, Florida, A&M, Auburn, um, Florida State, of course. I feel like LSU gonna take one of those games that people not expecting them to win. I could see them going to A&M knocking them off. We'll see them going to Florida and knocking off Florida or Auburn or somebody like that. Bama at home gonna probably be a little tough this season. But I think you'll continue to get the recruits in and stuff like that. Then I feel like LSU gonna have a shot at them. But yeah, man. We could get if Brian Kelly. You got to win that Florida State game, though. You can't get off to a bad start like that. The whole nation watching is basically a home game in New Orleans against a team, though they got very, very, very rich tradition. Florida State has been a team that's been struggling, the last couple of years or so. First under Willie Tag, and then and now under Mike Norvell. But 8-4 is expected. 9-3 would be. I'd be very ecstatic with that. They put out a top 10 wide receiver list, and AJ Brown didn't make the cut. How do you feel about that? I'm okay with it. He was a little injured last season. They got the guys like the Cooper Cubs, the Devontae Adams, you know, um, DeAndre Hopkins, guys like that. A lot of stud receivers. None really come to mind right away right now. Tyreek Hill, it's a lot of stud receivers out there, but I'm okay with that because for AJ Brown, I think more than anything, more than even his numbers, I think his presence is going to be a big, big major factor. To have a receiver that could catch 50-50 balls and be great would run after the catch, a physical wide receiver, which is something this team been missing. That could open up a lot of things. I think Devontae Smith got a chance to have better statistics, than AJ Brown, but just his presence out there on the field, just taking number one corners now, letting Devontae get number two corners, who Devontae got number one corners all last season. Um, and plus he got an extra year to get a little better and learn more of the game and stuff like that. Uh, I think the wide receiving core, the sky's the limit. Um, so I'm not really tripping about these rankings. They don't want to put AJ Brown top 10 and all that. That's cool as long as he come into Philly and for one stay healthy and for two make plays and produce and open things up for everybody else in the receiving core. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Could LSU shock some people with 9-3 or 10-2, or is 8-4 our ceiling this year? I think 9-3 is the ceiling. 10-2 would be whoa. Like 10-2, a lot of people would be wanting to give Brian Kelly another extension already. But 9-3, I think is the ceiling for us this year. I could 9-3 is realistic, but something that's gonna be hard, but I think it's doable with the talent on the team combined with the expectations of the coaching staff. Sorry that we stole Kyle Hamilton from you guys. Y'all didn't. We basically gave him away because he was right at Fuzz. Like I was very upset about that at the time. Of course, when I found out we traded for AJ Brown, I felt a lot better. And then when we drafted N'Kobe Dean in the third round, I felt real better, which made me even feel better about the Jordan Davis pick because obviously they played together at Georgia, and I know the Kobe Dean is behind Jordan Davis, so I know they got a little bit of camaraderie with playing off of one another. So that made me feel a little better about that pick. But yeah, man, I at the time I really wanted Kyle Hamilton. When I seen he fell to us, I was like, we got to get this guy. Yo, this guy's a stud. But a playmaker. But we went a different route, and I just hope that it all works out, yo. The NFC West got soft. We got better though, my guy. Yeah. They did get better. The Rams did get better. Adding a guy like Allen Robinson, and basically they got better by just keeping everybody that they had. The only one they really lost was Von Miller, but getting Bobby Wagner over there was a huge get. For the Rams, they didn't quite have that type of linebacker on the roster. So yeah, the Rams did get better. The West, I think the Cardinals took a little bit of a step back, especially with you know, especially with DeAndre Hopkins going to be out the first 6 weeks of the season, and we all see that over the last year or so, Kyler Murray struggles when DeAndre Hopkins is not out there. Um, Seattle obviously is in rebuilding mode. And the 49ers, they still a viable threat. They are, with Debo Samuel and, George Kittle and all those guys, that defense. But, they going with Trey Lance, and he's an unknown. He could come out there and it could be another situation like, when the 49ers had Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick, where, they made an NFC championship game with Alex Smith and then turn around the following year, he gets a little bang up, Kaepernick gets out there and just balls out, lead him to a Super Bowl appearance. Um, you know, that could, possibly be another scenario as far as with Trey Lance, but we'll see how that go. But looking on paper, excuse me, looking on paper, the Rams to me definitely easily are the favorites in the NFC West. What's up, Malik Red Dog? Appreciate you tuning in. Do not send Jimmy to the Giants. Yeah, that's a fair point, man. Though I don't know if they actually benched Daniel Jones for him. Though Daniel Jones have recently had a little bit of injuries here and there that kept him out for a little bit. But I mean, I don't want him there because I don't want them, to have another option. But would I be scared? I'm sure. Would you be scared? Absolutely not. With the pieces around Tua, do you think he takes a big leap forward? To me, Tua is in kind of a similar situation as Jalen Hurts. Now, Tua got a little longer leash because he was a first round pick, so he get that fifth year option. But same thing with Hurts. I mean, Miami has Tyreek Hill. They got Jalen Waddle. They got Raheem Mostert. That's a whole lot of speed, and they already had a solid defense. So yeah, Tua got to take that next step. If he don't, then Miami Dolphins gonna start. Fans gonna start get a little restless with him. But everything that they did to their roster would speak that he does take a big leap forward this year. Here we are. I want to know your thoughts on this LSU versus Tennessee game. Their offense ain't no joke. Nah, that's gonna be a tougher game than people think. Like Tennessee got talent over there, yo. They got a nice little crop of talent over there. And we all remember what happened last time they came to Tiger Stadium when we had this crazy incident where the game was lost, but then they had 12 men on the field, and then we ran it in with Stephen Ridley and won on a walk off. Like we all remember that. I don't think it quite go like that this year, but yeah, at the same time, we got we got to step to the plate and we got to take those guys down. But I think LSU wins, but I think that Tennessee keep it competitive, for a little while because of that the high powerness of their offense. Kyler Murray is scared of Aaron Donald. Oh my God, I'm sure he is. The way he just threw that pick six up in the air in the end zone, man. Kyler Murray got to be a better leader, man. He got all the physical gifts, in the world, but I feel like he just got to be a better leader. I just feel like, it's too many times when things don't go his way that he pouts a lot, and just has bad body language, and that type of stuff, could reflect out on your teammates when you the quarterback of your team. Um, you the general of that team and of that organization. So if you carry yourself like that, people gonna follow you and people not gonna be, as productive, and as efficient as they should be, if the leader is acting that way. Also, who do you think gets the start? Jaden Daniels, Nussmeyer, or Miles Brennan? Um, I think I like Jaden Daniels' upside a lot. If it was me, of course, I'm not at practice. I'm not actually seeing what they're doing and how they adapting to the offense. But just off of pure skill set and assuming that all the quarterbacks are gaining the same knowledge of the offense and using the same knowledge the same way to get better and better. Me personally, I would go with Jaden Daniels, but my gut tells me that Miles Brennan is going to end up starting against Florida State, and they're going to see how it goes. And if it don't go well, they could always go to. What do you think of the Giants' new jerseys? Jerseys. It's cute. It's cute. Good for them. Nice jerseys by them. I'm looking forward to us getting the Kelly Green back out there. But shout out to them. I will say this. I did love the Carolina Panthers new helmet and they look today. That was showed. That's gonna be some fire uniforms right there. What's up, Queeze 13? Appreciate you tuning in. Watch Hurts earn that bag this year, man. I sure hope you right. Like, I really hope you right. I'm not only I'm rooting for Hurts because I'm an Eagles fan. You on the Eagles, but I personally want to see Hurts, take ownership of this organization and everybody in this organization know that that's the guy. Like that's the man right there, Jalen Hurts. You know, were you ready to get rid of Puka, or are you willing to give him one more season? To be honest, I would have given him another season. To be honest, I was ready to like, just the lack of preparation from the team. I was just ready. I think Puka was so much for that national championship team and getting Jambalaya Joe end up coming down here to Baton Rouge. But at the same time, man, like it's like that winning got to his head a little bit, and he wasn't quite that same, hungry, motivated coach as he was before. So for me, I was good because I'm ready personally to see how this LSU football team looks with an actual X's and O's coach and not a guy that's more of a motivator like the last two head coaches were, after Nick Saban. You bring somebody in here that's going, bring somebody in here that's going, for one, be a mature adult and know how to run a program and run it successfully. So, I was cool with the move, man. I was cool with the move, and it was frustrating last year seeing us get beaten the way we were getting beaten. What's up, James Bird? Appreciate you tuning in. Who do you think is the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC West? I really think with Russell Wilson, the Broncos can win that division. Yeah, obviously all four teams have a real case to win the AFC West, which is probably going to be the toughest division this year. But for me, I'm gonna say the Chargers. I think the Chargers is the team, that got the very, very best chance to go out there and dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs of the AFC West. Chargers played them tough last year, man. They beat them in Arrowhead, and it took overtime for the Chiefs to beat them later in the year. And to me, I thought the Chiefs stepped a little back roster wise, and I thought the Chargers stepped up tremendously. Do you think Michael Thomas makes a comeback this year, or will it take him a season or two to get back to normal, or does he just completely fall off the map? I think you're gonna see a normal, motivated Michael Thomas this year, especially the fact that they got his boy, another Ohio State alum, to be on that, to be in that organization. I do feel like, I do feel like Michael Thomas gonna have a real, real, real solid season again this year. Well, but all right, y'all, man. I'm about to head out, man. I enjoyed it, man. 50 minutes, the longest we've been on in a while. Appreciate everybody for tuning into the live. Thanks for coming through and hollering at your boy. I'll try to do another live Q&A same time next Wednesday. Make sure y'all come back and join us. By the want to talk to you next time I talk to y'all. Eagles have been gonna have had their first training camp practice. Maybe something gets resolved with Kevin Durant. Braves back into the swing of things, and we'll be closer to LSU football and reporting for fall camp. So until then, man, everybody, y'all have a blessed night. Go Tigers.